So being directed by Lake Bell, your co-star, an actress for many years, also the writer, director, producer of the film, is making it a little bit more comfortable for you as an actor working with someone like that who has that background.
Well, surprisingly, in general, I would not say that that's true. You might think that that you want a so-called actor's director. I would not like to have that. I would rather have a director who is good at directing and let me take care of my own performance. I know Robert Duvall a little bit, and I was at an award ceremony with him some years ago, and he asked me what were the Coen brothers like. I told him, because he'd never worked with them. He said, "They leave you alone?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Fantastic." The best directors say very little, and Lake, even as a first-time director, had this great gift of saying just a few things, but the things that she said were extremely illuminating, extremely great, helpful. That's a rare gift, especially for somebody doing it the first time. You can see in the interview, I never shut up. If I was directing a film, you have to really be concise and brief and let the characters run. That's what a good director does, and Lake was like that.
Excellent. What do you look for when you're choosing projects, and what was it about this character that really spoke to you?
Well, I like to play characters that are a little bit bigger than normal-sized people. I find that very interesting. And I like characters where there's depth, where they have an evil side. Obviously, this guy is very selfish and self-interested and vain, but he's so riddled with insecurity that you kind of see where it comes from. And he also loves his kids in his own sort of screwy way. So the idea to play all those things and to play somebody who's constantly worried about somebody coming up behind him and being better than him, that just seemed like a great part. Plus, it was a world that I knew something about.
The voiceover world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about that, your experience with the voiceover world and kind of getting into that part of the film.
Well, although Lake didn't know it when she offered me the role, I spent about 20 years of my life only being a voice actor, not doing hardly anything at all on camera. I became, for reasons that have to do with my own mind, unwilling to go to the places that you have to be a good actor and to expose the things you have to be a good actor. And I was making a lot of money, frankly, doing voiceovers. And so I restricted myself to that for a long, long time. And only in the last 7 years or so have I really come back to acting fully, wholeheartedly, and really, really loving it and enjoying it now.
Was Sam based maybe or inspired by anyone that you had met in your years as a voice actor, or any inspiration from your own life?
Different people that I had met. There was no one voiceover guy that was particularly like Sam, but I've certainly known people that are vain enough and insecure enough to have not been great parents. That was something that was not far afield, for me. And I know a lot of people who are very successful and make a lot of money, but are consumed with doubt that it's all going to vanish because they kind of believe that they don't quite deserve it. There's this thing, particularly in California, that the whole stage set that is California is going to disappear, that the East is where the real stuff. I mean, when I used to come to California, people used to have their pastrami flown in from New York because there was something slightly stage-setty about all of California. And I think the people who are at the top of it still, at some small level, kind of buy into that a little bit.
Interesting. Well, it was great talking to you.
Pleasure to meet you.